Hey guys, see if I can do all of the things. Maybe. Going to share this out for everybody. And then of course I need to get the chat open as per usual. Technology is running slow today. Let's see. Just gonna sit here and do a little dance. There we go. Okay, everything's open. We've got this. Woohoo! Okay, so goal is to, let me straighten this camera out just a touch, the goal today is to finally finish this page. This page needs to be finished, and let's see if I can do it without bumping the camera. I don't know if that's possible. I have a feeling it's not. So the only things I'm going to be using today, besides probably a PITT, not a PITT, oh my goodness. Stream hasn't even started, I'm already losing my mind. Is probably, I'm gonna highlight all of these with a Posca. But beyond that, I'm just gonna be using a cool gray 4233 and then a black 199. These are literally all that I plan on using today. I believe I've got everything else covered on this page. So if you want to see what I've done with everything else, I will of course link all of the other live streams in which I colored this page in. There are quite a few of them. I've created a playlist if you want to go check them out in order, but that is beside the point. I'm bound and determined to finish this page. Oh my goodness. Who believes that I'll be able to finish this today? Me. I'm going to be optimistic. Okay. Let's see if I can get, I'm going to just start over here and then just work my way around. That way, hopefully I won't miss anything. And it's not overly complicated what I'm doing, of course. I always like to start with a light base and then add my darker colors and then just blend them together. It's just the way I'm used to working. And hi, Grace. I'm so glad you could make it. So yeah, that's kind of the way I work. I don't know if I really have much else to explain about what I'm doing right now because it's just going to be a lot of this until I get every single butterfly done. So it's going to be really exciting today. We'll have to think of some ways, some things to talk about. It boggles my mind that we're already over halfway through July. I don't know why the summer is going so fast. I don't really want it to go so fast, but it is. Hi, Shay. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm pretty sure that with all of the back to school supply stuff coming out, that school is right around the corner. And oh my goodness. It always felt like summer used to be longer than this. But you know what? You just gotta kind of go with the flow. I will be glad to get done with this heat. because I know a lot of us have been struggling with the heat and everything else. I'm over it. I'm just over it. Hi, Shalene. So what else has my week brought? I read Sibyl's Secret by Juliette Merlier. That was a fun read. I totally ignored the fact that I still need to finish Child of the Prophecy by her. Like I said, I have no idea why that book just doesn't want to be read by my face. Okay, so August is Creative Haven Month, and Grace, Anne, and Sharon are all going to be hosting that, which I'm looking forward to. I don't have any of those coloring books. I might have to look into getting some of those. And then September has changed to Magical September, and November is Martel Rubio month? Huh. Okay. I'll remember to note that in my document, Grace. Thank you. Lost my train of thought. Where is it going? Oh, yes. Sibyl's Secret, which is great. So a lot of that book takes place in Istanbul, which I just got finished reading. What is it? Now I Rise, which has everything to do with the Ottoman Empire and Vlad the Impaler. So it was interesting to see the same kind of area, but from a slightly different perspective. Because at the point where Sibyl's Secret takes place, it was mostly Muslim, but it was a trading city, so it had, of course, all the other religions as well. So there wasn't that huge conflicts between the Muslims and the Christians. Reading Fever Song at the moment. Oh, that's part of the, oh, okay. Yeah, I never really got really far into that series, Grace. I mean, I read the first one. Oh yes, I got Spinning Silver too, Shay, and I'm dying to read it, but I've also got so many other books that I need to finish first. Oh my goodness. I keep getting more books and looking at my TBR and being like, but I has to read all of these. Gosh, dang it. It's gotten so bad that at this point I've got a backlog of photos that I need to put up on Instagram. I mean, I don't want to put them like all up on Instagram all at once. I'd end up with like 20 pictures in one day and then nothing for the rest of the week. But it's bad. Oh yeah, I love my Faber-Castells. There's especially these PITTs. I don't know what it is. I just really like working with them. Fever series gets better and better. Yeah, I mean, I read the first book and I wasn't overall impressed with it. There was just something about it that I just, maybe at some point in my future, maybe I'll read the rest of the series. Might be a good audiobook, road trip, kind of pay attention to kind of read. But yeah, no, I know a lot of people, Grace, who like to have all of their books in a certain kind of format. I'm usually not that picky. If I ever do my bookshelf reorganization that I need to do, you will see that my books are like all over the place. I mean, I do generally prefer that the covers are by the same artist. I hate when publishing companies just change everything in the middle of a series, and then there's literally no way to get my series to match artistically. Hi, Zargot. Welcome. I'm glad you could join. But overall, I mean, the size of my books are all over the place. It's usually the art that I want to match. But then again, I'm not really one of those people who will go out and rebuy books unless there's like something super special about the artwork. And usually it has to be by an artist I am obsessed with. Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram this morning, Shay. I haven't, my brain is so far gone that I don't even remember hearing about that series. But yeah, no, besides Sybil's Secret, which I enjoyed, I also finished Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And it was one of those books I was a little, sort of okay, maybe I'll like it, I don't know, kind of reads. And about halfway through it, I'm like, seriously, not overall impressed. But then it got down to the last 30% of that book, and oh my goodness, I need the rest of the series now. And it was interesting reading two Fae style books together like that, because Holly Black, her Fae world, of course, given by the title, it's a very cruel and unkind Fae world. It leans more towards the gruesome, gory side of the Fae mythology, while Sybil's Secret is more of the manipulative, we're sort of kind of helping you aspect of Fae. So that was an interesting to see how vastly different those authors portrayed the Fae. And I do enjoy reading books about the Fae. I don't know, there's something about them that I like it. I like it a lot. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, Swan Lake. Okay. Yes, I think I'm vaguely remembering. Because the first one came out, what, last year at some point? Like I said, I lose track of things. Oh, and I tried to order Snapshot by Brandon Sanderson from Book Depository, I think like last week, because there's certain editions that I buy all my Brandon Sanderson. And so I was trying to buy that one because it comes out in a couple of days, I think this Tuesday. And then I got a notification on my phone a couple days ago saying that my order had been canceled and they couldn't fulfill it, and I was getting a refund, and I'm like, I don't want a refund, I want my book. So I went back and I checked to see if they still had that copy for sale on Book Depository, and they did. I don't fully understand why my order got canceled, but I reordered it, and so hopefully I actually get Snapshot, because I need that in my life. Under the Dome by Stephen King. Ooh, I want to, at some point in my life, watch one of the mini series that is about Under the Dome. I've given up attempting to get along with Stephen King's writing. I've just come to realize that I mean, I love Stephen King. I don't always get along. Maybe I should just try him in audiobook format. Maybe. But there's just, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so maybe. But yeah, those are pretty much the two books that I managed to read this week. I've been reading a lot slower recently. I did start the third book in the Lady Trent memoirs, which I am enjoying immensely. Ooh, and then I got the newest released in the Custer Protocol by Gail Carriger, which is the series after the Soulless series. I'm really excited to get to that book. Okay, so maybe it'll have to be the mini or the TV series. There was a mini series at one point too, wasn't there? Or am I just imagining that? I feel like there was like a mini series about all of Stephen King's books at various points in time. Hi, Susan. Well, maybe we'll have to check to see if the TV show is on Prime or on Netflix. Okay. I did have a couple of coloring books that I was hoping to show you today that I ordered. Unfortunately, they have to be signed for, and I was not here to pick them up on Friday. So I'm gonna have to go to the post office on Monday to pick them up. So maybe next stream I'll get to show you them because I'm really, really excited about them. And I haven't ever heard of these coloring books before. And I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it here because I believe the title is in German and I'm going to butcher it so bad. Okay, yeah, no, these aren't the traditional markers. These are actually artist PITT pens. So they're India ink, so they're not necessarily the traditional water-based markers. They're a pigment marker, so they don't bleed or blend quite the same way, but I tend to use them the same way I use water-based markers. I tend to use all of my markers the same way, be it Copic, be it any of my Zigs, be it my Faber-Castells, my Crayolas. So what I typically do, this is how I work, is I'll lay down a quick layer of my light color. So, and for me, the light color is this cool gray 4. And then while that is still somewhat wet, I'll come back in with the darker color and hit the spots that I want it to be dark. And then I'll come back with my light color and then I'll go over where that in-between line is. And all of this has to still be wet for this to even remotely work. And then that's kind of how I blend the colors together. Now you have to be really careful with the kind of pages you're on because this method, the markers will bleed like none other. Okay, you use PITT pen. So yeah, no, this is exactly how I work with them. It's just I put down a light base. Most of the time I use 3 different colors, but for this page I'm just using 2. So I'll put down a light and I'll completely cover it, and then I'll put the dark where I want the dark. I'll come back with the light, and then I'll try to blend that line together. And so with the pits, because they're a pigment, they're a permanent pigment, you have to work fast because the second that pigment dries, it's not moving anywhere. And so I think that is usually where it trips people up, is because of how you have to work with these. They don't stay dry long. They're not an opaque marker. They're very translucent. They're meant to be layered and played with. So if you don't lay down several layers, you'll get streaking. And you can also use these with paintbrushes and everything else. But I'm not a paintbrush kind of person. I like to use straight from the marker. So at some point, maybe I'll be a paint person. But right now, I just enjoy using my markers. So yeah, so I work from light to dark because it is easier to add color than it is to subtract color. That's my mindset. Okay, well, I'm glad you could pop in, Robin. So, hi, bye, heart face. You're welcome, Susan. Yeah, if you ever have any kinds of questions like that, feel free to like just drop the question in and I'll try to answer as best as I can. Because I am not an expert on this by any means. I have learned everything I know by just making a ton of mistakes along the way. And now the kitty is crying. She started out down here with us. I don't know why she went upstairs.
She was just here.
That's what I'm like, why? Ooh, and I've been following the news coming out of Comic-Con. And holy cow, I did not realize that they were rebooting both Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is my childhood right there. That was pretty much my the news of the day yesterday that I pretty much died about. Like, I'm kind of excited about seeing what they do with those. But at the same time, I'm terrified of what they're going to do. I mean, at least Buffy is being rebooted by Josh. Otherwise, I would have a fit. Yeah, they're rebooting Buffy, Shay. Oh, and yep, I heard about the reboot of Charmed a while ago. I don't know how I feel about it. It feels very CW-esque. I don't like when CW does reboots and stuff anymore because it's all about the teen angst and the romance drama, and I feel like they ruin a lot of really good stories. Right, Anne? They're rebooting Buffy. They're going to try to cater to the millennials, which I think is kind of funny because there was a lot of millennials who are like hardcore fans about the original Buffy. Because technically I'm considered a millennial and Buffy is my jam. So I do not know what I think about that. And by the way, hi, Anne. I kind of just went straight over that. And yeah, you made one of my live streams. I'm so excited. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll be keeping my eye on those reboots. Goodness gracious. Well, see, and that's my thought too. Spike, I love my Spike. He is one of my all-time favorite characters in Buffy. I know there's several problematic things about him, but I love him to death. James Marster is always my Spike. I've never really liked Angel. Could never get behind that. So I just don't know. I'm so conflicted. Like I said, and then to me, Sabrina is always going to be Melissa. And to me, Sabrina is this like the comedy show about magic. It's that sitcom, but they're going to go really, really dark with Sabrina this time around. Which could be good because, I mean, I like me some creep, but I don't know if I associate Sabrina with creepy. I mean, I never really got into the new comics that they got out, which I think they're basing the new Sabrina on. So maybe I'll have to check those out before everything gets released. Hi, Katrina. Okay, who was your favorite character of Buffy? Yeah, no, Buffy, I was a Spike. I was a Spike fangirl. Like hardcore Spike fangirl. It was bad. Yeah, I mean, maybe if I had started watching the series from the very beginning, I mean, I ended up catching Buffy towards the tail end, which is probably why I latched on to Spike more than I did with Angel. But and there were times that I was really disappointed in the fact that they didn't end the series when they originally thought they were going to end the series, and then they brought Buffy back from the dead and all that kind of junk just kind of happened. Wasn't a fan of that series or that season or the following season. Oh my gosh, Grace, you were like, you probably would have been my best friend because Buffy was one of those fandoms that pulled me into fan fiction. I mean, along with like Sailor Moon and what other Labyrinth. So I was a hardcore Labyrinth, Sailor Moon, Buffy, and Doctor Who, and a little bit of Ghost Hunt. But those were where I lived in the fandom world. And I may or may not have written fanfic myself. We're gonna just pretend like none of those exist, though. Because at this point, I'm even terrified of going back and looking at them and seeing what they look like. So pretend like you did not hear me talk about the fact that I wrote any of those and everything always lives on the internet forever. I'm not going to tell you where those are. And my husband just got a very evil look on his face. Yep, I said absolutely nothing. Well, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, when you're growing up, you try all kinds of different hobbies, trying to find which one, you know, you actually fit into, what feels and creates the most passion. Both of the kitties are in the window right now, I think. I lied. Only Fia is in the window right now. I don't know where Nissa went.
She went upstairs.
Okay, she's still upstairs, apparently. Yeah, yes he is, Elizabeth. And then he's probably going to mock me endlessly for it. I mean, it's something that exists in my life. I don't think I have anything too horrendous up there. Maybe. Like I said, it's been ages since I've even looked at that old account. So there could be anything on there. Yeah, was it the fan fiction or just my writing? Because those are two different accounts.
I can't remember.
Because I don't think it was the fan fiction that I read to you. I think it was some of my class projects. Oh, and I got, this made me laugh. So I got an email the other day. I'm a coder. I code websites and things like that. And so I follow a lot of coding people and coding websites where you can learn different languages and things like that. And I got an email the other day that talked about learning to code with MySpace. Yeah. And I almost died because legitimately that is one of the reasons I actually completely learned HTML is because of MySpace. And I hadn't thought about that in ages. I mean, does MySpace even still exist? I think it does. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people on it, but MySpace, holy cow. Ooh, what kind of lighting equipment did you get, Shay? As I sit here and slowly melt underneath all my lights. It's kind of funny because I set up all of my lights, and I usually have to do it early because they take forever to set up. Not really, they take like 10 minutes to set up. And so I'm usually sitting underneath these lights for 20 to 30 minutes before the stream actually starts. And my basement is normally freezing. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, it's freezing. My husband likes it. He doesn't think it's freezing. I'm a normal human being, so I think it's freezing. But from sitting under these lights for so long, I actually feel like it's relatively decent down here. Got 2 soft boxes and an LED light for above my camera. Ooh, okay, that should be fun. What size soft boxes did you get? Are they, is this just a one setting light box, or do you have multiple settings on it? Geeky me is wanting to know all this information. Almost wrote a story I wrote published along. Almost had a story I wrote. Oh! Because there were people in my life. Oh. Well, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. That would have been really exciting. Do you still have the story up on the internet somewhere? Or is it one of those things that you just kind of kept private? Because now I'm very, very interested in it. I need to know. I need to know. You made me very, very curious. Yeah, no, it's these intricate pages. You think you're gonna only take so long, and then you keep on finding detail, and it keeps on going and going and going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. And this is one of those pages that I wanted to finish with you guys, but every once in a while I'd see it just sitting there, and I'm like, I could just finish it right now, but I won't. Oh, dang it, I forgot some silver right there. Hold on. Here we go. See, it's things like that every once in a while. Oh. Well, that's cool, Shay. Yeah, no, there was a story that I wrote, forever ago. And I was actually really, really proud of it. But I think between all of the upgrading technologies and changing of computers and everything else, I mean, I don't think it exists anywhere anymore, unfortunately. I mean, I wrote it way before I started putting things up on the internet. And it was one of those stories that I actually finished, which most of my stories are not finished. Sorry about that. But well, even though I didn't read it, Elizabeth, I think it was probably amazing. These are the Faber-Castell PITT artist pens. I always call them artist PITT pens. I don't know why I do that. I think I did that in the title for this, but they're PITT artist pens. But I'm just using the black and the cool gray 4. I'm not doing anything spectacular right now. I'm just bound and determined to get this page finished. That is my goal. And if I get that finished today, I get to go eat a cookie. It had werewolves in it. Well, even better. Supernatural stories are some of my favorite Dun, dun, dun. You're very much welcomed. I like when you guys give me easy questions. You know, there's always that subtle fear in the back of my mind when it'd be like, what if they ask me something that I have absolutely no idea about? Most of the time, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making it up. Fake it until you make it. That is my motto. It's what I live by. Have you tried the Color It watercolor brush pens? I have not. I haven't tried any of the Color It stuff yet. I mean, I just got a couple of zigs, and that is what I colored my Nautical Neverland entry piece with, my jellyfish. But I didn't use them like watercolors. I just straight up used the pens as pens. And those were the Zig Cling colors. And I really, really liked it. But I know if I continue to use them that way, I'm going to use them up really, really fast. I mean, I've been contemplating trying like the actual traditional watercolor methods. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, cats are wonderful like that, Shalene. Some days you get absolutely nothing done because they just want the full brunt of your attention. That actually happened to me a little bit yesterday. I was contemplating coloring and finishing a page, but then Nissa came and she laid on my hand, and I didn't want to move for the whole rest of the hour.
How was that?
Color It watercolor brush pens are refillable. Ooh. Ooh. That shows a lot of promise. I'll have to check those out. Ooh, speaking of check it out, since that was such a wonderful segue, Grace, I appreciate it. Amazon Prime Day. Prime Day. Yes. So I did get quite a few things on Prime Day. I mean, I didn't get a lot of things. And I actually didn't really get that many coloring things. I got 2. And I guess I can show you them. Is that what you... Okay, you got your lights from Prime Day. So I got another one of... You can't even see it. I'm too close. I apologize. But from what little you can see, this is a coloring... It's a coloring set. This is this is a 160 colored pencil storage case that I got on Prime Day. I have nothing to put in it yet. This means I can now buy more colored pencils. That's how I justified this purchase. But I did also get a set of Tombos. Now, I already have these colors, but I'm already starting to think about replacement markers because I use my markers like crazy. So I got this set of Tombos. I don't even remember what set it was. I think it was one of the landscape sets. It was the only Tombos that I saw go on lightning sale, and I had to get them, so I got them. So, yes. And those were the only 2 coloring things I got on Prime Day. I mean, I got some stuff for the guinea pigs. I got some stuff for myself. Oh, and I got some poopery because everybody needs poopery in life. You have no idea how excited I am about the poopery. That was probably my favorite purchase of the day. Yeah, no, I mean, this was probably the first Prime Day I've ever actually participated in. And I realized that if you weren't constantly on your computer, like scrolling through the upcoming sales, then you weren't going to find anything. It wasn't going to be worth it. And I only lucked in to finding those Tombos. And the Tombos are probably my best find of the day. But other than that, I mean, there was some Derwent sets that I contemplated getting, but I couldn't justify it. So, yeah. Like I said, Tombos and Poopery. Thank you, Prime Day. I did notice that a lot of the Arteza stuff was constantly going on sale. But I mean, a lot of the sales, it wasn't like enough of a sale to justify a purchase for me. So, because I know several times the Arteza brush pens went on sale, and then their colored pencils, their paints, they have some canvases, I think, that went on sale too. And I did see one of Joanna Basford's artist editions go on sale at one point. But I've already got all of those, so I didn't get it. But I really like her artist edition. How do I decide what to read next? That is a very good question. A lot of times, it's just a matter of me standing and staring at my bookshelf and seeing a cover and just pulling it. Honestly. Right now I'm in the middle of so many series. That's kind of what justifies what I read next. And I also, so what I do when I read my books, I also check out the e-version from the library. So I have a wish list of all of the e-versions of books I own from the library. And so if something becomes available from the library, an electronic version, I'll get it, and then that'll help me decide what I'm reading next. Because I don't like carrying my book everywhere with me. And so if I have the ebook as well as my physical book, I can like flip back and forth. I like making my life complicated. So it's a little bit of mood, it's a little bit of what is available through the library at the time. And then it's a little bit of what I just got in the mail that supersedes everything. Because I can promise you right now that I believe, is it called Competence? Is that the book I just got? I think it's Competence is the book in the Custard Protocol by Gail Carriger that I just got. It's the new release from her. And I promise you I'm going to be starting that next week. Oh, thank you, Grace. I'm glad you find me entertaining, or at least soothing to watch. Okay, yes, it is. Well, see, and I'm pretty sure it starts with a C. All I remember right now is that the cover is green. I'm horrible, guys. But I'm enjoying the Custard Protocol series. Maybe not as much as I enjoyed the Soulless series, but ooh, I like that idea, Elizabeth. Random number generator. At some point, I should do that because I have over 200 books on my need to read pile. It's bad. Each year I keep on thinking, well, you can read 200 books in a year. You can finish all of these books. It'll be fine. And then I go and I buy more books, and that is completely thrown out the window. It's a problem. DT. That's true. I mean, and you can't avoid some of the books that maybe you shouldn't be avoiding if you do a random number generator. I know for me, though, what I do for readathons is completely different. I'll go to my need to read books. I'll open up the page count for all of those books, and then I'll sort it from lowest to highest. And then I'll start picking from my smallest books for readathons. Because, I mean, a lot of the readathons are like, read 7 books in a week. And I'm like, okay, most of my books are 500 pages and above. I would die. I would have to not go into work, just hang out at home, and then maybe that'll get done. So I'll start with my low end of the books for readathons. This is very true. I mean, a lot of times if I'm contemplating a book and I don't know for sure, I mean, I only buy books when either I'm at a library book sale and they're like $1, or B, they're part of a series or by an author that I truly love. So that's kind of how I've set up my physical book buying. But if there's anything else I want to read outside of that, what I usually do is I'll get it from the library first. And then if I fall in love with it, then it goes on my to buy list. And at that point, it's okay if I buy it because I've already read it and it won't go on to my TBR. But I mean, I have my whole office down here that I can be doing. Yeah, I am doing Booktubeathon today. I got my TBR list up last Friday, I believe. So yeah, it's up there. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, thank you, Anne. Yeah, no, my book videos are what started my channel, and I always and forever will love doing my book videos. Watching myself now, okay, I sound very narcissistic. I do enjoy going back and watching my videos. I've been this way ever since my dad started recording me on VHSs. I don't know why. I like to watch myself. But going back and watching from the very beginning to now, I mean, I've definitely found a style that works for me. And I'm crazy and I'm weird and I'm accepting and embracing myself. It's fine. So whenever I go home and my family gives me grief about my YouTube channel, I always blame it on my dad. It's my dad's fault. That, and it's my dad's fault for ever letting me use the video recorder, because sometimes I just stole it and started recording nonsense. It was bad, you guys. You don't even know. Oh, I'm glad you could join us for a little while, Grace. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a really good method, Shalene. I mean, Goodreads is literally the only way I can keep track of all of my books. Because like I said, my whole office down here is full of books. I have over 1,000 books on these bookshelves. And so Goodreads is how I catalog. It's how I keep track of what I have read and need to read and all of that wonderful nonsense. You snooze, you lose, old man. You snooze, you lose. It is, yeah. So the way I decide how to take pictures is either I'm currently reading the book or I just purchased the book. And so what happens is as soon as I start reading it, I immediately take a picture. As soon as I get it in my house, I'll take a picture of it. And then I have a folder on my phone that is all the books that I haven't posted yet. It's all the pictures I haven't posted yet. And so when it's my daily time to post, I'll go to that folder and then decide which picture needs to be posted. And I do the same thing with my coloring books too. So as soon as I finish a page, I'll take a picture of it. And then I'll figure out where it fits in the schedule and all of that kind of stuff. And as soon as I get a new coloring book, I'll take a picture of it. So there's some method to my madness. Like I said, I have a ridiculous backlog of photos that I need to post. Ooh, nice. I look forward to seeing it, Shay. Yeah, and then of course, I always post the end result of these streams. So those are always my Sunday posts. I mean, I guess I could probably post multiple times a day, but I always have a fear that if I post multiple times, at some point in time, I'll not have anything to post on a certain day. And then it'll just be a day that I don't have anything to post. Because, I mean, Jacob and Wilhelm are easy to work with, but I don't necessarily want to harass them every day and pull them out every day. Sometimes they need a break. Because as much as they love getting their carrots for being the perfect models, I don't think they appreciate me just, scooping up and telling them to pose.
Don't abuse the talent.
Bye, Anne. Thank you for stopping by. That's not bad, Elizabeth. It sounds like you're churning through them. We're getting closer, guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 butterflies left. 6. And then the random snake here that I haven't decided what I'm actually going to color. I think I might keep it in the gray tone so that he still remains kind of hidden. So it's still kind of one of those search and finds. Ooh, my ears are popping. That's weird. Sounds like a lot of you guys are having pretty good reading ears. That's exciting. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I'm not quite to where I want to be this year with my reading, but like I said, I mean, I had a lot of things go on this year, so I'm trying not to give myself too much grief for not being where I usually am at this point in the year. Because at this point in time, I've read a little over 90 books. And usually at this point in the year, I'm over 100. I'm usually at like 120-ish, 110, 120. But it's been a slow year. And that's fine. It's one of those things that, you know, sometimes you just have to readjust your life and realize that new things are going on. Plus, I've got a side project that hopefully at some point in time I'll actually be able to talk to you guys about if it ever actually happens. This thing has been taking longer than I ever even imagined. I started it like a month and a half ago. And things have just, they haven't been working out the way I've been wanting them to. So I'm still trying to make it work. There's still hope. But it's at the point where I'm like, why is this so ridiculously hard? Why? Unfortunately, no. It's one of those things that I have to do myself. And you guys will totally understand when it actually happens, because it's gonna happen. I mean, it might take me like 6 months to actually, which I really hope not, because that sounds horrendous. I'm not a patient person. Oh, that's me as well, Elizabeth. I usually have sometimes even multiple physical books and ebooks going at the same time. I've thought about doing NetGalley, but I am such a mood reader that I'm terrified of doing NetGalley, since you have to get reviews out and things like that. So I haven't ever really gotten into NetGalley. Maybe I should, but I don't know. Don't know. Holy cow, Elizabeth. Does that just cover like every single day of August then? If you're doing 4 readathons? But hey, I mean, I guess you kind of know what you're going to be reading for all of August then. I find that really impressive. I usually have to limit myself to the readathons I do, because I'll just burn myself out. A lot of times I'm like recording vlogs and all that kind of stuff at the same time. Just for like all the readaromas that I do, I record every single day, and by the end of that week, I'm dead. I'm ready to be done with life. Ooh, eggs. I do enjoy me some eggs. But yeah, no. And I mean, I love Booktubeathon because of the video challenges. I mean, sometimes I don't do them because the thought of pulling so many books off of my bookshelf and then having to put them back, it makes my heart hurt so bad. But I mean, at this point, maybe I will, because like I said, I need to reorganize my books like so bad. It's gotten to the point where I'm stacking books on top of books because they don't fit where they need to fit, and it makes me sad. And it has been a while since I've gone through and done a purge and reorganized and all that kind of stuff. And I know I keep talking about it and never actually doing it. So maybe Booktubeathon, if it's one of those evil book domino challenges, maybe it'll prompt me to actually clean my bookshelf. Because it's really, really funny because, you know, I do the booktube videos where I'm sitting in front of my bookshelf. But literally the only area that is organized is the area you see in those videos. Those 6 shelves are the only shelves that are organized in any kind of fashion. The rest of them are all kinds of messed up. I mean, I tried to clean them up a little bit when I did the interview with Steve over at the Lawn Gnome. Oh, thank you, Grace. You were too sweet. Oh, okay. So you're double dipping on challenges for the readathons. That's smart. That's actually extremely smart. I mean, I guess I should be thankful that, you know, my book area is a mess. I guess that only proves that I'm actually a reader. Because, I mean, if my bookshelves didn't get messed up every once in a while, am I really reading my books? Or are they just sitting there looking pretty? I don't know. It's one of those questions. It was actually both of them that were jumping all over the place, Grace. At the very beginning and middle part, that was all Nissa, who was jumping back and forth and making the noise and stuff. But towards the end, that was Fia, who came in and joined the party. Because my desk is right next to the cat tree that leads up to the high window in the basement. So they usually use me as a launching pad to get to that window. Guys, I think we're actually going to finish this page. I feel like we need to throw a party once I finish this. I mean, like, how long ago did I start this page? I want to say it was back in February. Might not have been that long. It just feels that long. Okay. Yes, the answer is yes, Grace. They have fought over my lap before. And usually it's Nissa is just being a sweetheart. She's sitting on my lap, just not a care in the world. And then Fia's like, I want that spot. That spot is mine. And she'll come over and she'll be like really, really nonchalant about it. And she'll be like, dude, what are you doing there? I'm just gonna suddenly put my butt in your face. I'm just gonna put it there. And then she'll slowly back up. And then Nissa will be like, no, this is my spot. And then there'll be like this like violent lick fest. And then finally Nissa will be like, fine, I'm done. I don't need this. I'm gonna walk over this direction for a little while. So it's not like a violent fight. It's more of like, let me see how much I can annoy you before you'll leave. But Nissa is usually so mellow that Fia really has to like push her really, really hard before a all-out war actually starts. Because Nissa is pretty much a rag doll. You can pick her up and flop her around and she does not care. but she's also the one that's like always on my lap. Fia's more of the, I'm going to do what I want kind of cat, where Nis is like, I'm your cat. I must be near you at all times. Yes, they mostly love my lap because of the heat source my lap provides. And I completely understand that I am pretty much a living heat pad and food source. That is why the cats love me. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, no, it's actually really funny. I mean, it's gotten to the point where when I'm doing laundry, the laundry's in the basement and we're usually upstairs. So as I'm going up and down the stairs, I am usually followed by 1 or 2 shadows that have to make sure that I don't get lost somewhere in the basement, that I don't get eaten. So they are almost puppies. Okay, bye, Shay. I'm glad you could stop in. It's true. I mean, depending on what kind of puppies you're talking about. Because I mean, if you're talking about like Chihuahuas, at this point they're getting a little rotund. So they're slightly bigger than Chihuahuas. Well, see, that's what I keep threatening, Grace. Is adding to the family. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I've got my fingers crossed. That is adorable, Elizabeth. I'm pretty sure the only reason that the girls ever follow me when I'm doing laundry is because they like to hop into the clean laundry as I put it into the laundry basket to carry upstairs. And so I end up carrying not only the clean laundry, but cats in this laundry basket. The laundry baskets are starting to fall apart and crack because right now, a couple of the laundry baskets that I have, they're the cheap ones that I've had since college. And so they're showing their age and the added weight, and it's bad. But they're bound and determined to be in that laundry. It's like back in the day when I was living in the apartment, we had a stackable washer and dryer unit. And this was back when I had Alethea, who was my first cat. She loved the dryer. So you always had to like make sure that you didn't close the dryer on the cat, because she'd just hop in there and not a care in the world. It's like, it's warm. I like it. What are you going to do about it? So I have learned that you always check to make sure the dryer is empty before you shut the door. Otherwise, you're not going to see a cat for a while. No, oh, that is adorable. I love it, Elizabeth. Okay, let's see. I need my Posca. Here we go. Now, I'm still learning these Poscas, and I don't necessarily have the steadiest of hands, but I'm just kind of going with it. Just trying to give everything a little bit of pop. See if I can do this without blocking your guys' view. Sorry if I go quiet. It's like this is just taking my concentration. Rotate this a little bit so I can get a better shot. There we go. Just have to go in with confidence. Kind of like that. Well, thank you, Elizabeth. Yes, it's definitely taken more time than I thought it would. Definitely learning new things with this picture. I mean, this is the first picture I tried to do with Posca outlines. I don't think I'm going to add any to this, but I will, I think, attempt to do this one. Because you definitely lose this guy with that skull. Hi, Michelle. You joined just in time to watch me awkwardly outline all of these butterflies. And then I have to decide how I want to color that snake. Let's see. I'm trying to do this so that both of us can see what I'm doing. But I feel like I have to be like right on top of the page. So if I bump you guys, I apologize. This was also the first page that I ever used colored pencil and marker together. So this is a lot of first on one page. I haven't ever had any Poscas bleed through, but I also only put a light outline layer down. I've never done large spaces with it. So I'm not entirely sure if it would bleed through. My guess would be like if you do a lot in one area, probably. But like I said, I'm not entirely sure. Let me move that up a little bit. Oh, trust me, I do shake all over the place. I'm kind of glad that the camera is further back so you can't see some of my interesting line choices. But I've also learned that you just have to like do it with confidence and pretend like you know what you're doing and not do it slow. Because the second I do it slow, I start shaking. Okay. Now, I'm trying to decide if I just want to fill that hole in with black and then outline. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Because this hole, it drives me nuts. So. Sorry, butterfly. You're just gonna lose your head for a little while. I promise I'll give it back. Okay, we'll let that dry for a second. And then I'll come back and I'll outline that butterfly. But while we wait, I think I'm going to... Did we lose connection? Am I still there? Okay. I forgot to turn off or put my phone into airplane mode and turn off the notifications on my phone. Whoops. Whoops.
Parents were talking about bunnies.
Yeah, I saw. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do it with gray so that it goes in with the rest of this. I think that's what I'm gonna do. It does look like he's eating a butterfly. Okay, let's see. Just kind of add some gray. Just a little bit of black. I have to come back and outline some of those butterflies. Ooh, I wonder if I should do his belly in silver. That could be cute. That way he kind of matches all the butterflies. Look at that. He's adorable. I wouldn't take him home. Okay, this means we just have outlining and then we are done. Oh my goodness. This is a day to mark on our calendars. Okay, I think maybe add a little bit. I moved it off the screen and I started working with it. I am sorry. I didn't think I was gonna do any more. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, the last butterfly that needs to be outlined. You guys ready for this? I can show you what we'll be working on next after I finish this, Elizabeth, because I'm really excited to get back to that page. Because it's another one of those that has been sitting there begging to be colored. But off stream, I've picked a page in the new pop manga Mermaid that I want to try. I'm not fully comfortable doing colored pencils on stream yet, so I've been testing out on a couple pages. And I did one page in pop manga that I really, really like. And I posted it on my Instagram account, and I'm in love with it. So I'm going to attempt one in the mermaid coloring book. And then if it goes fairly well, at some point, I may attempt to do colored pencils in front of you guys. Here we go. A butterfly. It's fully done. Okay. Now I'm going to try to zoom out. It may get a little shaky, but just so you guys can see all of this in one shot. Let's see if we can do this. I apologize for the shake. The sound effects help. I hope I didn't make anybody too seasick. So that is the finished page. Ah! It's a magical moment. Someday I'll be brave enough to do background, but this is where I'm gonna leave it from now. I kind of like it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, now to show you what we'll be doing next time. I'm pretty sure many of you are going to remember this. I agree, Elizabeth. I don't think it needs a background either. It's very graphical, and that's the way I like it. Okay, so my hope is to go back into this one, Sakurum's coloring book, because this beautiful lady needs finished. She's calling to be finished. So next time, right, because we still have one more week in this month, correct? Yep. Okay, so next time I'm going to be going back into this coloring book. And I'm going to try to get as far as I can on this page. So I'll probably continue on with the vines, because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with the flowers yet. Oh my gosh, Michelle. Yes, that's what I should do. I will make a t-shirt and then I will put it up in my shop. I haven't even thought about my t-shirt shot in like forever. Oh, hi, Sammy. Yeah, we just finished. Finally got it finished. Yay! And so next time it's gonna be this one with more PITT pens. I forgot that I had done the vines with the PITTs with this one too. So we'll be back with the PITTs. I'll probably do Copics for these flowers. Ooh, excuse me. I got burpy there all of a sudden. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't quite decided. I'm still debating on how I want to do her eyeballs too. But I have a week to think about it, right? And be inspired by all of you guys. So I think with that, I will say goodbye, because we're done. We're actually done. I don't even know how to close out right now. I'm probably gonna go get food and then see if I can catch Anne's stream. So I'll probably see most of you guys there. I heart all of your beautiful faces. Bye.